Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Friday, May 3rd, 2019. It's the sports review. We got two games in the NBA, two in the NHL. Starting with the NBA, something very interesting about today. We just got the story of Danny Ainge having a heart attack 44 days after his birthday in Wisconsin. Wisconsin equals 44. He wore the jersey number 44. Tonight, his Celtics, who he's the GM for at home, and so are the Blazers. He used to play for both teams in his NBA playing career. And Danny Ainge is also from Oregon. Today is 47 days after Danny Ainge's birthday, and it's a date with 47 numerology, which is a number that really pops out in tonight's game between the Bucks and Celtics. So let's start there. Keep in mind it's May 3rd, 5-3. Milwaukee equals 53. It's been a year of 53 for Boston sports. Boston Red Sox equals 53. The Patriots won Super Bowl 53. Right now the Bruins in hockey are playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus Blue Jackets equals 53. So a very interesting date for this game. Celtics also has that gematria of 35. Today's date can be written 3/5. So the big standout numbers. The Milwaukee Bucks are 116 and 131 in the playoffs. If I'm right about the Celtics advancing in this series, I have a feeling the Bucks finish their season at 118 wins because Celtics equals 118, John Havlicek 118, Wisconsin 118. This series began on the 118th day of the year. The Bucks are at 131 losses right now. 131, the 32nd prime, Boston 32. On the season, the Celtics are 54 and 34. Boston, Massachusetts equals 55. Celtics equals 26 and 35. I am thinking these teams are going to split these two in Boston. So I expect Boston to be 55 and 35 after the next two games. We'll see if that's true. There is a chance the Celtics could pick up their 35th loss today because it is May 3rd, a date that can be written 3/5 like 35. However, I prefer to go with date numerology. And again, the date numerology is 47. 47 is the 15th prime. Notice the Bucks can get their 15th away loss of the season on this date, and that would keep them also at 15 wins against the Celtics in the playoffs. It would make them 15 and 22 if they lost today. Boston equals 22, so there's some rhyme and reason to that. The Bucks are also 119 and 130 against the Celtics all time right now. If they lost today, they'd get their 131st loss, the 32nd prime. Boston's also 32. One thing that could go against the Celtics is Brad Stevens, the coach, is 27 and 26. We do have a lesser date numerology at 27. But again, I prefer to lead with the team records. The coach of the Celtics, or not the Celtics, excuse me, the Bucks, his next playoff win will be his 23rd. And what's interesting about the next game in Boston is it's on a date with 30 numerology. The Bucks would be going for their 30th away win of the season if they lost today. And the coach could pick up his 23rd playoff win in the next game. So if the Bucks lose today, the date numerology makes a lot of sense for the team overall and the coach overall record in the next game. That game's also May 6th. Bucks equals 56. So it looks better for Boston to win today and the Bucks to come back and take Game 4 to even it up 2-2 in Boston, Boston 22. And then that Game 5 in Milwaukee, the way we're looking at it now, the Celtics could get their 25th away win on a 25 date numerology, go back up 3-2. We'd have to evaluate Game 6. Again, it does look like the Bucks very well could win two more to get to those 118 wins in the playoffs. Okay, so based on the date numerology, gotta say I favor the Celtics today. It's the 47-15 thing, and it being 47 days after Danny Ainge's birthday. In the Nuggets and Blazers game, again, it's 5-3, kind of like 53. Portland equals 53. Trailblazers 53. Rip City 53. They finished the season with 53 regular season wins. They kept the Nuggets at 53 regular season wins in Portland near the end of the year. The Blazers right now are 58-31 on the season. The Nuggets are 59-32, meaning their next loss is their 33rd. Oregon's the 33rd state. They play in the Moda Center. Moda equals 33. They recently changed their stadium name to that. It was always the Rose Garden before. One thing that could go against the Blazers today is they're 35-9 at home. It is May 3rd. If they lost, they'd stay at 35 wins on a date that can be written 3/5. However, the Nuggets are 21-23 away. What's very interesting about today's game is it's 73 days from the star player's birthday of both teams. Jokic for the Nuggets and Lillard for the Blazers. 73 is the 21st prime. The Nuggets could stay at 21 away wins on the season. This is kind of like the riddle we just saw yesterday with the Raptors. The game was 307 days from Kawhi Leonard's birthday, the 63rd prime, and the Raptors stayed at 63 wins on the season in that game. Blazers are 113-141 in the playoffs. Nuggets are 66-105 in the playoffs. The Nuggets could get their 73rd loss at Portland, speaking of the 73 riddle. In this round of the playoffs, the Blazers are 31-31 all time. The Nuggets are 23-26. That means the Nuggets could get their 27th loss in this round, the semifinals, on a 27 date. Something that could go against the Blazers is their coach could get the 27th loss in the playoffs with the Blazers on the 27 date. But again, I don't like to lead with the coach records. So the Celtics and the Blazers have the same thing with the coach going against them. But I'm thinking the 73-21 riddle is where it's at, and the Blazers getting things done on 5-3. So I think both home teams are likely to win tonight in the playoffs. We'll have to evaluate the next game. The Bucks definitely have the better riddle for next game between the Bucks and the Nuggets. But I think home teams is where it's at tonight in the NBA. Islanders and Hurricanes. Let's flip over to that. I'll tell you now that if I was going to take any pick in the NHL right now, and again, I'm not crazy about the NHL today, but if I did, it would be the Islanders to cover, and here's why. The Islanders are 52-30. The Hurricanes are 53-32. Carolina equals 53. Hurricanes equals 53. It's May 3rd, 5-3. The name of the cyclone that hit India today equals 53. A cyclone is a hurricane. Both teams can be at 53 wins. And we're going to get into how the Islanders have a few other date numerology riddles. My only fear for the Islanders is that the Hurricanes close out the Islanders on this 5-3 date because it's symbolic to the team. So there's always a risk. That's the risk, that the riddle is that the Hurricanes close out this series on 5-3. But check this out. The Islanders are 26-15 away on the season. That means they can get their 27th win on a 27 date and stay at 15 away losses on the 47 date, 47 the 15th prime. What could go against them is May 3rd's a bit like 53, which is the 16th prime. They could get their 16th away loss and their season would end. The Hurricanes are 28-13 at home. Not a lot going there. The Hurricanes are 66-71 in the playoffs. There's something that could favor the Hurricanes with the date numerology. 71's the 20th prime. We do have a 20 date numerology. Rod Brindamore, the coach of the Hurricanes, equals 71. However, the Islanders are 148-123 in the playoffs. Today's the 123rd day of the year. They could stay at 123 losses. They could also get their 149th win. That's the 35th prime. Today's date can be written 3/5 like 35. The cyclone hit India today. India equals 35. The Hurricanes' next win will be their 77th. New York Islanders equals 77. So just like before the series began, we said the Hurricanes had the better riddle to win the series. Looks like we're right about that. It's just what game do they win it in? The Hurricanes are 36-33-5 at home against the Islanders. If they did win today, they would be 37-33-5. Carolina does equal 37. New York does equal 33. So you could make some sense of that. They're 3-0 in the playoffs against the Islanders. First series here. Barry Trotz is 4-3 in the playoffs this year with the Islanders, meaning if he won today, he'd be 5-3 on 5-3 May 3rd. His next playoff loss is his 62nd. Hurricanes equal 62. It doesn't have to come today, though. If he got 2 more wins, if he made a little comeback, he'd get to 61 career playoff wins. And Islanders does equal 61 if the New York has a little fight left in them. The Carolina coach is 7-3 in the playoffs. Again, Carolina 73, Hurricanes 73. Nothing real interesting with his birthday. The Islanders goalie with a win today would become 5-3 on May 3rd. The Islanders goalie could stay at 16 losses for the season on this 5-3 date, 53 the 16th prime. If he did lose, however, he'd stay at 101 career wins. Again, Islanders is 101. This is the year of the 101st Stanley Cup. His upcoming birthday is in 82 days. Hurricanes equals 82. His last birthday was 283 days ago, the 61st prime. Islanders 61. There's conflict on which goalie starting for the Hurricanes. The majority of sites say it's the same guy who started last game, the backup goalie. There's nothing really screaming out about his stats. His upcoming birthday is in 20 days, and we do have the 20-date numerology. It's also a span of 21 days. 73, the 21st prime. Carolina 73, Hurricanes 73. If he lost, he would be 2-1 in the 2019 playoffs. So, again, both teams could be at 53 wins today on May 3rd. If the Islanders won, the Islanders would stay at 123 playoff losses on the 123rd day of the year. Looking at the days ahead, there's nothing that screams out about the date numerology. So there's a part of me that says, does that mean it ends today? But it doesn't have to be that way. If I was going to bet this game, again, I would take the Islanders to cover just because they have more date numerology riddles going than the Hurricanes. The best narrative for the Hurricanes is to wrap up the series on 5-3 because 53 is symbolic to the team. In the Stars and Blues series, we talked about the Stars potentially finishing their season on 49 wins, which is right where they are right now. Because Dallas equals 49, Blues equals 49, their coach is 49 years old. If the Blues win tonight, I do suspect the Stars will get closed out in the next game, which would be in Dallas. Dallas again is 49. That game will be on a 49 date numerology. So if the Stars go down tonight, I think their season's done. Things we're looking at, the Blues could get their 27th home win today on a date numerology of 27. Dallas Stars equals 27. What the Stars have going is they could stay at 20 away losses on a 20 date. The Blues are at 173 wins against the Stars. That's the 40th prime. If the Blues lost tonight in the playoffs, they would get their 40th playoff loss against Dallas. Game 5 does equal 40. So Dallas does have a couple riddles on the board. They do. If the Blues win tonight, however, it's 39-39 and St. Louis Blues equals 39. So I see some symbolism in that. Again, that Dallas coach, it's his first year, staying at 49 wins at 49 years of age. That's the number that's screaming out at me. However, what's very interesting is his upcoming birthday is in 58 days. And if Dallas won, the Blues would get their 58th home loss against Dallas. So, like I said, there's some reason to believe that Dallas has a little life in him tonight. But I just can't get over the 49 thing. So I would probably wait and see on this game personally. And if the Blues do win tonight, I would think the Stars are dead meat in Game 6. The Blues could close it out 4-2. It's their 42nd year in the playoffs. They closed out the first series 4-2 over Winnipeg. And Missouri equals 42. St. Louis, Missouri. So, other things tonight, Dallas goalie could get his 20th loss on a 20 date. The goalies aren't always real consistent, but it's just something to look at. Today's date also does have the 47 numerology. St. Louis is 47. Again, they're going for that 27th home win on the 27 date over the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars 27. If the Blues do win, I suspect this is the last game at home for this series. So, again, Blues don't pay anything. That's why they're not worth betting on, because there's a little risk there. And if you wanted to put a few dollars on the Stars to cover, I wouldn't bet very much on it, because there's enough reason to believe they'll lose, and then you'd have to be praying that they'd only lose by 1 goal. But I'll let you use your own mind. So that's what it is for the playoffs today. We're going to be back for the live stream 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, to do the Kentucky Derby. If you can't watch that, don't worry. I'm going to put out very clean notes of everything we're seeing so that you can just read that after, before the races tomorrow. But 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern tonight, Kentucky Derby. And hope to see you there. All right, Truth Seeker. Good luck. Oh, one more thing before we go. If I didn't mention the pregame, there's no real lopsided games in the betting today, and there's still a lot of time before the game. So again, I'll link this in the description if you want to take a look at the pregame and where the money is. But nothing was real lopsided, NBA or NHL. Seemed like it was pretty even for all of them, right around 50-50, 60-40 here and there. So anyhow, that'll be linked in the description along with the notes. Again, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern for the Kentucky Derby. All right, Truth Seeker. Till next time.